Alright, so we are going to discuss the power clean today. So, power clean, an aspect of an Olympic lift. We can use that for a lot of different reasons, for a lot of different styles of athletes. Now, why do we use it? We use the power clean to work on vertical acceleration, all right, or triple extension. And all it is pushing the floor away really hard. So if you're a football player, pushing against an object, if you're a hockey player, skating, if you're a CrossFit athlete, doing cleans, if you're an Olympic weightlifter, it's a great accessory, and it's learning to use opposing forces, okay? If I want this barbell to go up vertically, I have to be putting maximal amount of force, not up, but down through the floor. Okay? And that's where a lot of athletes confuse the power clean, because we're thinking about pulling everything up. So I want to watch Steve here do one power clean. I want you to watch the legs in the power clean, specifically that hip area. Cool. So if we get Steve to set back up for that, what you notice in a good setup for a power clean, we want to create a triangle. All right, you're not going to be able to see this on yourself, but what you can see right now on Bestie is on Steve is the triangle right here at his hip. So the point of the triangle is his hip, okay, and then the bottom of the triangle is from his armpit to his knee. And the big thing that we want is we want that triangle to be pointing straight back behind him, and we want the armpit to the knee to be straight, like to be vertical, okay? So we call that a plumb line. So if you had a weight in the end of the string, you held it, it's perfectly vertical and level, that matches right up with that line, okay? So let's get Besky to build that, lots and lots of tension in his lats by pulling into the bar without actually pulling himself down. You can feel the tension and then do another power clean, okay? So that's the setup, and you can see that opposing force. And when I mentioned triple extension, that's when we talk about opposing force. So in the first initial part of the power clean, you got Bessie setting up, all right, in the bottom with that, thinking about that nice triangle. And all we want is we want our chest over the bar, all right? So we don't want our chest over the bar with our knees poking through. We want our knees back, chest over the bar to engage that posterior chain. Posterior chain are our jumping muscles, all right? This is essentially a jump, all right? So before we get into triple extension, we're going to watch Besky do a tall box jump. All right, now I want you to just watch his legs push the floor away, use opposing forces to drive up to the box. All right, that is a power clean. It's the same thing. We're producing vertical force, and he's even got to recover his feet underneath him to kind of land on top of the box. Let's watch him do it again. Let's get a nice strong landing. Good. And then with his legs, that's essentially a power clean. So these two movements, very similar. And when we talk about triple extension, we talk about 3 joints extending, all right? So you've got the hip, the knee, and the ankle. Now it's really only 2.5 joints extending, because what we want to see is we want to get back in your start position without the barbell, Steve, thank you. Okay, so what we want to see is we want to see the knees and the hips. We're just going to focus on those 2 right now. We want to see them extend kind of together. Right, knees and hips, 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 and then knees and hips, we're still over the bar, knees and hips extend all the way, okay? But then we don't want to see the ankle extend all the way, because we lose balance. When we see the ankle, if you can just step back for the camera, when we look at the ankle, we only want to be able to fit like a loonie under the heel. That's extension for our purposes in a power clean. Because what we do is when we come up any higher than fitting a loonie under, we lose strength because we lose stability, right? We become unbalanced. So very vicious extension with the glutes and the quads is what we're looking for, not horizontal, but those 2 coming together for vertical momentum. Let's watch again that power clean. I want you to watch that vertical momentum, and I want you to watch the very top of the lift. Okay, that barbell is going vertical. He's not A lot of faults come into play when we introduce a bar trying to produce vertical momentum, and that's banging the bar off the hips, sending the bar horizontally. It takes away from that vertical acceleration, even though it seems like and sounds like we have more power. And then some athletes just get pinned down with their chest, and you see their hips shoot up, and that's kind of the other side of it. So what we want is we want to lock that triangle in by squeezing our armpits. So you can think of like squeezing a newspaper in your armpits. That will activate the lat, and it'll allow you to accelerate a lot harder through the floor. All right? Then we get to the apex of the power plane, so the top of it. The whole goal is to treat this so that we have a lot of all of our effort built through the legs leaves our upper body to act as a slingshot to propel us under the bar. So we're actively pulling against the weight of the bar to slingshot our body underneath. So we'll watch one more lift. And he's actually going to use the bar to slingshot underneath it. Good. And that's the power plane. All right, so lots of reasons why, it's like very, very, very complex movement. But it's very, very useful. It's a tool that, like, if you're any type of athlete, you should be using that once a week at least. All right, power cleans, very, very popular movement around here. So have fun with that. Shoot us with any questions, and enjoy your power cleaning.